You brought up Beanie Sigel. Do you feel like Beans should have been bigger than what he had? Because I do remember seeing an interview with Jay and they, everybody
what happened
thought
with
Beanie
Beans?
Sigel was going to be like the next
Wait. What happened?
huge thing.
I'm gonna tell you. What happened with Beans was we had set up the clothing line. I sold my interest in Rockefeller, and we were gonna do the movies and do everything, and then he just went with Jay when he came home, and that f***ed up a lot of money for me. I've heard interviews where he says he didn't know these things. I'm like, he definitely knew these things. And then when Tom, I keep forgetting his last name, but they went around my back and talked to Beans and told him he should be making clothes more like Rockwear because sales wasn't. And then he did that record with R. Kelly, and he was like, it wasn't Beans. It wasn't State Property Beans. So I just felt like Jay tricked him so he wouldn't take over. Because Beans was like, he was. I can't say he wasn't like that. He's regardless of what has happened, he was about that life. He was like that. Like I've argued with Beans and be like, damn, now I got to fight Beans. But I would have to if we're going to do that. But, it never came through. You know what I mean? Like, if you run in a crew, you got to fight whoever steps up. And Beans was ferocious, good rapper. But I got sick of going up to jails and trials. I used to have to take a jet just to hand them over to the feds. It's traumatizing. I had to, I let him stay in one of my cribs, a loft in Tribeca for his house arrest, so he could work. It becomes family, funerals, all type of shit, B. It's like, it's a lot when you're ahead of a certain kind of team. But I do think definitely he could have, that's what I always said. I say homie ruined his life because he was going to be bigger than Jay.
What? The level of hate in Dame Dash's heart has to be studied. Me being a Philly native, Beans is an animal on the mic. Top 3 in Philly. Might be top 1 according to a lot of people. But bigger than Jay, he wasn't marketable. What does marketable mean? It means suburban dads is okay of you hanging a poster of this person in their rooms. There's nobody hanging a poster of Beans in the suburbs because it would set off the alarms and the dogs would start barking.
He's right,
Are you serious? Beans is a felon. That shouldn't count against you. But in terms of marketability, when they dig into your history, it does. There's no way he was going to be bigger than Jay. He was going to be big in the hood. He was going to move some units. He was going to do what he did. He might even started a label and found the next person. He could have definitely had that influence that way because he had the city on lock. Stay prop all day and night. But in my opinion, Petey Crack would have been bigger than Beans from a marketability, not talent. We ain't talking about all that. But Petey Crack would have blew up. Even the Gunners had a chance, but Petey Crack had a chance, and y'all know why. That poster is okay up in certain rooms, in certain areas of this country. You understand what I'm saying? It's marketability, man. But the level of hate from Dame to say that Beans could have been bigger than Jay, it just show you how deep it runs, man. Let's get back to it.
Cam was going to be bigger than Jay. Kanye is bigger than Jay. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, every one of them would have had Kanye success. I promise you that. And it can still happen. And now that Bleak and I see his work ethic, I think he did his big one too. I really do. That's what I regret. I regret not understanding Bleak and how his superpower. His superpower is his loyalty, not his rap. It's his loyalty.
His superpower is his loyalty, not his rap. Kind of like Tony Yayo, right? And there is something to be said for that when you know how to be a number 2. Think Jordan and Pippen, even though he popping off now. But he knew how to ride that and just get championships. You'll never catch Bleak saying a bad word about Jay. You'll never catch Yayo saying a bad word about Fifth. And that number 2 position is pretty sweet, especially when you recognize you're not a number 1. So Bleak had no shot at being bigger than Jay-Z. This is all revisionist history, and it's from a very bitter person, man. It really needs to be studied, that it could run that deep, that it clouds reality. And we are in an era of rewriting history now and tearing down greats and legends. I don't know why. It's just what it is now. It gets the most clicks, the most views, the most engagements, the most payments for your next interview on Cam Capone, on DJ Vlad. It gets the most clicks for anything else on any of these channels, you know? So if the real paid, you wouldn't be hearing this.
You know?
You mentioned being there for Beans. You know, I know he was going through his trial and you were there all the time.
Yeah.
You know, what was that time like for you? And what was...
It was tiring. Every day, new suit, van. I was the first dude with a van before Sprinter. So we take the van with the peanut butter guts, with the Rockefeller all in the headrest, and we go to Philly, you know, sit through that trial, go walk through, you know, make sure he felt supported. Then I have to go home and then come on back. But every day I would bring back a different Rockefeller. So I was like, if y'all don't support him, I'm not putting your records out.
Incredible. Beans himself said on Drink Champs that he regrets his decisions that he made, that he wasn't as mature as he is, obviously, later in life, and that he realized how he fumbled the bag. Not Jay blocking him. Jay didn't make him do crime. Jay didn't make him be out in the streets. Jay didn't make Beans do what Beans did. Beans made Beans do it. Even the judge asked, like, do you trust that he will behave while on house arrest or this or on bail? Jay said, nah, I don't trust that. And Beans was mad at the time, understandably, but later said Jay made the right call on that. I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. But like, this level of hate definitely got to be studied, man. It runs deep. It runs deep, and it's going all through the culture, man. So just be careful. And let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Salute to Cam Capone. Salute to Dame for all the great things he did in the game. I just hate the fact that it left this impression on him. And I'm sure he has his justified reasons for his interpersonal relationship with Jay. But wow, you know, from outside looking in, it's crazy as hell. So anyway, man, appreciate y'all. Like the video, hype the video, share the video. Until next time, man. It's your boy Dell, Second Take. We out.